What is good, YouTube? Welcome to Deep Six, the Temple Mogu edition. Quick recap of Deep Six. Basically, you get one of 3 different games. It is a 6-man party. There are some slight alterations to how the game operates. Often the changes are either meant to speed up the game or to balance it around 6 people. The changes for Temple Mogu, it seems, is the 4 corner orbs is reduced to 2, and they're where the berserkers usually spawn in. We had a rough start here, but that's alright. I'm sure we'll pick it up after we pull it together. Sometimes these games take a little synergy to get down what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to be. We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. Somehow we're still keeping ahead of them, just by keeping the pressure on. This is a good game. I think at some point they actually get both orbs, and it's just, I look at the map and I'm just like, god damn it, man. We got more points, but how? Oh, yes. Now, I do find it kinda that they took out the berserkers. It seems anyway, unless the berserkers are hiding in some random corner. I would appreciate maybe like one in the middle or something that spawns in. Man, I love being the rogue holding the orb. It's the best feeling. Everybody, gang beat the guy wearing leather. That has no cooldowns. That's not true. I could have cloaked shadows. God dang it. Maybe have the 4 corners have a buff each. This guy with his shadow meld though, I love it. How about 2 berserkers and then maybe a speed buff and a healing buff, or 2 of either of those to fill in the other 2 corners? But you know, it's something spicy. I can see why you wouldn't want a berserker in a 6v6 map where holding an orb can increase your damage by a ridiculous amount. But counter that, we have berserkers in the other 2 game modes still. Both Silvershards have them on the ramps, and Warsong has them in the little huts. So I don't see why we couldn't have some kind of berserker placement on this one. I did enjoy this map, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy this. I enjoyed every one of these 6-player games. I'm just saying, for like tips wise, just try to rush the orb if you don't got it. Try to stick with your team, because often if I die, it's because there's like 3v1. So try to run with you guys. If you see them hitting the other orb, maybe hit that orb guy, and then together hit the next orb guy. But do whatever you gotta do. You know, if you feel like you can solo an orb guy, go for it. If you feel like you want to grab the orb and try to champ it, go for it. But I don't think there's really any surefire way to win this other than entering with a pre-made, obviously. Man, I had a pre-made against me one game. 5-player pre-made. I think it was Kel'Thuzad. I can't remember for sure. I was so triggered. The guy I was running with, a random guy on my friends list. I think I met him while I was leveling. Oh my god. He queued in with me, and he's like, I don't have a note for you. And I was like, I think I met you while I was level 90k, but I'm not 100% sure. He healed, so good on, you know? Grabs the flag because it's WSG. I believe we capped first, right? And then he grabbed the flag 2nd round, and before we could get cap off, they killed him. But it was 5-man pre-made, right? So obviously it was a bit of a struggle. Guy immediately quits out. Come on man. Come on. What are we saying? That's not how you respawn. Just finish the game and don't queue anymore. Like if you don't want to put up with pre-mades, I get that. 1 in like 5 or 10 games is gonna be like that though. But honestly, let me sidetrack a little bit. So the other day my buddy messages me and asks me how rogues are doing today, which spec is better, sub or assassin? And immediately I think to myself, alright, here's another guy who thinks Outlaw has nothing to offer to the table. Who probably thought combat has nothing to offer to the table. And I was like, I'm about to set this guy completely straight. So for the majority of you rogue players out there, or part-time roguers, or people who have never played rogue but still, you know, find an interest and just kind of follow the trend of this whole combat outlaw is easy and has nothing to offer train, let me fill you in, alright? Sure, you got like 2 combo point builders, you got your melee move, and you got your ranged move. Your ranged move can proc for no energy, and you got your 1 combo point spender, unless you spec in your tree for the other one. I get that. It's kind of basic, cookie cutter on the front. But what Outlaw had and Combat had is a lot of cooldowns that CC people, and where they actually have the ability to beat other players is knowing where to place those CCs. Now that's not it. That's not it. You might say, yes, but the other two specs have some CCs. Yes, they do. But Outlaw has everything faster if you play faster. It pushes you. Let me explain this. You get a perk. I'm not sure if this was a changed perk, because when I looked it up before, it did say it just gave energy per combo point spent on a finisher, like it does for the other rogue specs. I believe I'm not 100% on assassin, but it does for sub. But Relentless Blaze, basically every finisher you reduces the remaining cooldown on a lot of your abilities. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, yeah, but you also have one of your roll the bones buffs, True Bearing. If you put these two together, you get a lot of your cooldowns back really fast. So you don't need to worry about perfect timing on like your vanish placement, right? Because you only have one every 2 minutes. Well, you don't only have one every 2 minutes. You probably got one every minute at least, if you're pushing yourself hard and you got some lucky roll the bones buffs. Right here, everybody, it looks like they gave up, so I tried to get the one guy to at least come for me. He didn't want anything to do with any of us, but as soon as one of their people dropped, they all just kind of gave up. That's a weird way to turn it all around though. At first it looked like we were gonna lose and we were just barely hanging on, and at some point half our team would just give up, but everybody hung in there. I don't know what happened, but we took the lead, their teamwork fell apart, and we ended up taking the win. But this works even better with Mark for Death in BGs, because people die so fast. If you get a Mark for Death on them, get a finisher out, like all of your finishers come off cooldown a little bit quicker. Often, whenever I need something like Grappling Hook or Vanish or Between the Eyes Stun, which is like Kidney Shot for Outlaw, like whenever I need something, even Killing Spree, everything is there for you pretty much when you need it, I find anyway, as long as you're rotating in all of your cooldowns, like before you pop Adrenaline Rush, before you start Mark for Death spamming, you know, get all of your cooldowns used, get your Sprint used, get your Vanish used, get your, like, don't just waste them, but use them obviously appropriately. Maybe use your Vanish to get another stun. I like running Dirty Tricks because it improves damage while people are in Cheap Shot, so I like to get a Vanish Cheap Shot in there and maybe burst out a lot of my cooldowns during that time. That's my personal playstyle. Not everybody picks that tier talent, I get that, but that's just an example of what you can do. What I'm saying to you is Outlaw has potential for people who like something to push them for it. It gets well rewarded for it. That's all I can really say. If you pick Cannonball Barrage even, feels like you have that all the time. I only go with Killing Spree just because I like to use the Blade Fury mechanic and kind of like use it to dodge around people when I'm getting focused. As a defensive move, I like to use it to teleport up ledges. If somebody's standing on a ledge, you can use Killing Spree to teleport up to them, kind of like Shadow Step. I feel like a Sword Master just coming out of nowhere with Blade Strikes. I feel like Killing Spree should be baseline, but that's a whole different combo for a different day. Point is, Outlaw has a lot to offer for people who like getting in there and just keeping busy. Keep yourself building combo points and spamming out those finishers. Feels like a non-stop aerobics party. I thought this was pretty jokes. Salmon D. The only thing that would have made it better is if that shaman was a ret paladin and his name was Castiel. King A. That was 2 jokes, not to share. Alright guys, that's about all I got for this one. So, hope you got something out of this. Hope you had some fun. As always, good luck in the BGs. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more wacky content, and drop a like if I'm on the right track and you're having a good time. Anyways, Have a good one, guys, and Godspeed.